Hello, EduMagicians. Welcome to the EduMagic podcast with your host, Dr. Sam Fessich. Dr. Sam is a professor of education, author of EduMagic, and a pumpkin spice latte fan. This podcast is designed for pre-service teachers. Remember, friends, teaching doesn't begin at graduation, but during that first class at 8 a.m. Let's get this party started.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. Now let's get on to the episode.
Hello, EduMagicians, and welcome back to another episode of the EduMagic podcast. My name is Dr. Sam Fessich, and today I am sharing with you 5 ways that you can organize your desk as a student teacher. Now, I know when you go into a classroom as a student teacher, your desk can be up front, it could be to the side of the room, it could be in the back of the room. It could also be a student desk. It could be a table or a kidney table. It could also actually be a regular desk, which is great. Or maybe it's a cart. No matter what size or location your student teaching desk might be, there are lots of ways to really make it your own, to make it an effective workspace and a space that's efficient and user-friendly and approachable for students. So let's go ahead and talk about the why, the what, and the how. How to make your student teacher desk a place of peace, a place of efficiency where you can find everything, where everything is located. It's your home base in the classroom. As a student teacher, you are juggling lesson plans, you're grading, you're doing the attendance, you're doing the feedback, and you're doing all the teacher things. And so you need a space just your own. You don't want it to be a messy space. You want it to be a place where you can find everything, right? Having it organized in a space where everything has its spot and there's a spot for everything. By having an organized desk, it can help you find materials quickly, find those resources, the copies of those lesson plans that you know you printed last Friday, right? It can help you create an approachable environment for students to come up, ask you questions, or chat with you at the end or before class. It's a great space for you to manage all the paperwork that you're going to have. And at the end, one of my last tips is a great way for you to start to pull that paperwork digitally. So stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead and jump into some of our tips for managing your student teacher desk, no matter the size or the location. The first thing is to figure out, what do you use most often? Do you use pens, pencils, highlighters, note cards, post-it notes, clippies, paper clips, binder clips? What are some things that you use most often? So for me, some things that I use most often would be index cards, post-it notes, pens, and fun markers. I like to have those available so I can grab them all, take them to my classroom, and take them all back. I like to have a box for that because I travel to my classroom, so I don't have a desk that I can run back and grab my sticky notes and run back over to this teaching space. Instead, I have to take it all with me. But you probably have a teaching space. So figure out, what do you use most often and how can you put that on your desk so it's can be easily reached. So maybe that is like using a desk caddy. One of the ones that spins would be really fun because you can quickly just grab what you need. Maybe you like one with drawers so you can pull the stuff out and put it back in a drawer so it's all in its spot. So figure out what to use most often and how can you organize it. Group those items together. So like put your paper clips and your binder clips together, post-it notes and index cards together, whatever it might be. Maybe you have really fun teacher stickers, and instead of having them like in your teacher bag and in this one drawer and over here on a shelf, put them all together in one spot. And if you do have teacher stickers, do you have like the scratch and sniff kind where you can smell them? Oh, those are so fun. All right, but I digress. Anyway, you want to make sure you prioritize what you use most often and make sure it's within reach. That's tip 1. Tip 2 is try to use space in a different way. So maybe you are limited to the size of a student desk and you just have that little insert drawer that you can just throw some stuff in. So maybe think about using vertical space in organizing your student teacher desk. I have in my office this really fun Hershey bar. It used to be in a store where they would put Hershey bars on the separate shelves. and you can, just grab your Hershey bar, but it's a tray that has 3 levels, a top, a middle, and a bottom level, and it has Hershey bars on the side. I found it probably at a flea market years ago, and I sat there and I told my dad, I'm like, oh, Dad, I can use that to put all my tests in, things I need to return, things I need to get back, all that stuff. And oh my gosh, it has been so much fun. I now use it as a professor. I have it hanging on my wall, and I will throw in there, okay, so here are my Elkinen boxes I need to bring to class on Wednesday. Here are my phonemic awareness activities I'm going to have students implement and use and try out in class on Friday. So I'll sort it like that, and that has been a lot of fun. So it's using that vertical space. So you can get a vertical stacking filing system that stands on your desk, and you can put papers in there, papers you need to collect. Maybe you pop in your lesson plan. Maybe you have 5 vertical stackings, and one is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All your different lesson plans are in there, and all the copies that you need are in there. Maybe you have one that's for tests that you need to give, assessments that you need to give back, those types of things. That's also a really neat way to do kind of sneaky attendance. If you're like, oh, I forgot to do attendance, go ahead and look back. Oh, I didn't pass back so-and-so's paper. They weren't here today. So go ahead and think about using that space a little bit differently. Find a fun shelf. If you can't find anything super fun, decorate it yourself, spray paint it, or add some stickers, add your own personality to it, because that's our next activity way to organize your student teacher desk. Add some personalization. You just don't want it to be a desk. Add some fun stuff to it. Think about like a plant, or if you're like me, you're not so good at keeping the real ones alive, go ahead and grab a fake one, because they're super cute too. And you can have a really nice potted plant or a little cute little pot to put it in. Maybe you want to put it in one of your favorite teacher mugs. You can do that. A framed picture of you and your family. Nice way to start conversation with students. Maybe you want to have a little desk calendar on your desk. You can have that. Another really fun one is a personalized nameplate with like your teacher name, Miss, Mr., MX, Ms., Mrs., whatever it is. And then your last name. That's a really fun one. And it's also something cute you can get on Etsy or on Amazon, or you can even make yourself. They're really a nice way to elevate your student teacher desk with a nice, cute little nameplate. And then I would also recommend having a spot on your desk. Maybe it's like a blank frame. Think of the one from Friends hanging on the door in Rachel and Monica's apartment. It's just a blank frame, but you can feature student work in there, and you can have it hanging from your desk. That'd be super fun. Or just have a spot somewhere where you can feature student work. Because guess what? No matter what grades you teach, you are going to get pictures and drawings and letters and cards. It's just a nice way to show that, oh, thank you so much. Let me hang it here. Where should we hang it? Where do you think a nice place would be? So that's another really fun way to add some personalization too. And then of course you're going to keep those, right? So put them all nice in a nice little file folder, maybe clean it out once a month, maybe put everything in a file folder, and then you have a whole new space for the month for it to showcase student work and student pictures and drawings and all those good things. Next up is digital organization. Friends, you are going to have so many resources coming your way from your mentor teacher, from specialists in the building, from tech specialists. You'll have websites and printed resources. So later in the episode, I'm going to talk about some ways you can change those printed resources into digital in just a moment. But when we talk about digital organization here, what I'm thinking with this one is having a spare laptop charger, because you never know when you're like, oh, I thought I charged it last night. Whoops, I didn't. And then you don't have a laptop charge. Have a spare laptop charger. Have multiple ways to connect your laptop to the projector or the display system. So I recommend a USB, a VGA, an HDMI. Those are all great examples of connectors to have like in your digital organization. And your digital organization, this can be your charger and all your connectors. This can be in a little bag, a little zip up bag. There's some really cute personalized ones over on Etsy. You can grab those. Or if you don't, grab a Ziploc bag, put them all together and just keep it in your desk in a drawer. or under the desk, wherever you want it to be. So it's really easy to reach, because you're gonna be like, oh, I forgot my charger, or oh man, this one connector port's not working. What am I gonna do? You have some backups, and you come prepared and ready to go. So that's gonna be a really nice addition to your student teacher desk, as a place for your digital organization. If you want to get fancy schmancy, you can get those cord connectors or those ways to organize cords. You can do that, and you can have a surge protector as well, for plugging in all the things. Another key when it comes to digital organization, if your phone is out, put it away. We talked about this in the last episode. Keep your phone out of reach. You're not just grabbing it and scrolling, because you want to make sure that you're still engaged in the classroom and you're not just scrolling your phone. So please just put that away until planning period or lunch or after school. You can check all the things then. So just put it away. It is okay. And then the last thing you want to make sure that you have is, of course, the student teacher planner. Friends, so many times I get asked by student teachers, what do I even put in my binder, in my 3-ring binder, or in my planner? I don't even know where to get started. And it's really hard to think about, okay, what am I going to put in here? How am I going to keep it organized? Well, the student teacher planner cuts out all that overwhelm, because I've set it up for you and I've set you up for success. It has options for lesson planning, observations, reflections, contact pages, rosters, student teaching checklists, reflection prompts, procedures and policies. So many resources you're going to grab in the student teacher planner. You can head on over to the show notes and grab it there. It is on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. It's only $10. You can download it. You can use it on Cami or on Canva. You can edit the PDF, or you can download it and print it and put it in a 3-ring binder and have it ready to go. It is seriously one of the best tools student teachers can use to stay organized. Now, remember I told you earlier in the episode, I was like, okay, I'm going to share with you a really great way to get all those paper products into digital. Well, one way to do that is through tools like Office Lens or Cami. Both are apps you can download. I'm going to specifically talk about Office Lens because you can take a picture of a worksheet or a picture of a page in a textbook, a picture of a sign, whatever it might be, and it'll save it to your OneDrive. It'll also create an OCR Word text document, so then you can edit the text document. So let's say your teacher's like, all right, we have to adapt this text page for several different reading levels. Well, guess what? Take a picture of it. You don't have to retype the whole thing. Take a picture of it. It saves it as an OCR Word doc. You can just go ahead, open it up on your computer, edit the reading level. Maybe you want to use a tool like Diffit to edit that, or edit it on your own. And then bada bing, bada boom, you are done. And you can add in updated photos into the page if you wanted to. So there's really a nice way to do that. But when you think about organization, you're getting all these resources thrown at you. For me, whenever I was student teaching a while back, I had a bin with file folders and hanging files where I sorted stuff, math and literacy and science and social studies, and then by grade level, and then by unit. It was a hot mess, but I felt like I needed to have everything. And I had a hard time really letting that go. But honestly, I feel like if I would have had it digitally, I would have felt so much more organized, because I can sort, I can tag, you can save everything right into OneDrive and it's ready to go. So definitely recommend Office Lens. Cami does the same thing, Kami. Both are fantastic apps. If you've used them before, please share in the comments, how you've used them, what you've used them for. All right, so you might be thinking, oh my gosh, these tips are fantastic, from prioritizing what I use most often, using vertical space, personalizing, but not getting too cluttered because I want to personalize with intention, having a spot for all my digital content, like my charger and my cords. I'm definitely going to grab that student teacher planner. You might be thinking, okay, this is all great, but how do I keep up with all this, with all the busyness of the day and students checking in and teaching and reflecting and connecting and collaborating? Yes, it can be a lot. I have 3 little tips to help you. One would be to tidy up your desk during maybe planning time, put items back where they belong. If everything is just askew on your desk, just take a quick 2 minutes. hurry up, put everything back wherever it belongs. Do that, when you can. At the end of each day, make sure you get a thing of those Clorox wipes, right? Wipe down the surfaces, wipe down everything on your desk, clear off your desk, wipe it down to get rid of all those pesky germs, because we do not want to get sick during student teaching. We want to keep ourselves healthy. And then throughout the month, continue to look through the worksheets and the paperwork that you've compiled throughout that month. And then establish a routine. Like, okay, every Friday, I'm going to get all these papers, stuff that I want to keep. And remember, I'm going to take a picture of and file it digitally, right? Anything I feel like, okay, I'm never going to use that again, toss it or shred it, whatever it needs to do. That way, each month, you're coming up with a clear space. And guess what? Now you have a nice clear little spot for more student work that you can now organize it using your vertical system. And organized desk, friends, can really help you feel confident and ready for the day. You know where everything is. Everything has its space. Instead of like, oh, where did I put this? I can't find that. You have calm and you have peace in your student teacher desk space. Friends, I wish you the best of luck during student teaching. And I know that this episode was geared towards student teachers who have a 16 or 8-week placement in a classroom. But if you're in a short-term field, like a 3-week field, you can totally use these tips to help you get organized in your space as well. All right, friends, remember, you have the EduMagic within you. And for these tips and all the resources mentioned, head on over to sfessage.com for more. Bye for now.
And there you have it, EduMagicians. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. For more EduMagic, check out sfessage.com and follow Dr. Sam on Twitter and Instagram @sfessage. Until next time, you have the EduMagic within you.